When Jonathan Carter bought the old Greystone estate, he thought he was making the best investment of his life, a grand Victorian house on a quiet hill. With creaking wooden floors and stained glass windows, it was every horror writer's dream home. He was, after all, a novelist, and nothing fuels imagination like isolation and a bit of historical creepiness. The locals had warned him, though in hushed voices and reluctant conversations, that house, it listens, one elderly woman told him in the grocery store, it hears your thoughts. Whispers back at night. Jonathan laughed it off for the first week. Everything was perfect, the silence of the countryside, the beauty of the decaying elegance, but then it started. It began with whispers. At 3:12 a.m. every night. Soft at first, like the wind through the pipes. But there were no pipes. And the whispers, they said his name. Jonathan, Jonathan, did you forget me? At first, he thought it was just his imagination. Maybe too much wine. Maybe he was writing too much. He ignored it. But the house didn't like being ignored. One night, he left his recorder on. At 3:12 a.m., the whispers were caught on tape. Clear. Cold. Almost desperate. Why did you leave me, Jonathan? Do you still hear the screams? I'm still in the walls. His blood ran cold. He had never been to this house before. Never even to this town. How could something inside the house know his name, his voice, and more terrifyingly his past? The next night, he didn't sleep. Instead, he sat in his study with a cup of coffee, watching the walls. At exactly 3:12, the chandelier above him began to sway, though there was no breeze, and from the shadows in the hallway, a figure stepped forward, a little girl, pale, wet, eyes hollow as if she'd been crying for decades. Jonathan, she whispered, you let me drown. He remembered, suddenly, a memory buried so deep, he'd convinced himself it was just a nightmare from childhood, when he was 7. His cousin Emily fell into the lake behind his grandmother's house. He'd seen her struggle. He'd frozen. He never told anyone. Her body was found days later. They ruled it an accident. He had lived with that guilt his whole life, but now it seemed the guilt had found a home. In this house. Emily moved closer. The room grew colder. I waited for you, she said. Now you'll wait for me. The floor cracked beneath him. The lights went out. He tried to run, but every door in the house slammed shut. From every corner, whispers rose. Stay, 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 he screamed into the darkness. The next morning, the mailman found the house eerily quiet. Jonathan was gone, his car still outside, his computer still on, coffee still warm, but no sign of him anywhere. They searched for weeks. No clues, no body, just one strange detail in the police report on the wall of the study. Carved deep into the wood were the words, I hear you now.